Yo, mic check 1 2. Wait for my guy to pull up. Definitely want to put out the disclaimer early. This content is intended for mature only audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Some of this content is for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Rocking with Sonny Winter's experience. We are Flatbush. Stuck in the system. Get together, we chop it up. We build. We build. We look at what's going on out here. Tap in, we see what's going on. If your first time tapping in, hit that subscribe button. Viewer discretion is always advised. It's definitely intended for mature audiences. See, I appreciate you.
Try to make it small.
That's a small.
I tried.
Thank you. Wait for my guy to pull up. Any second now. A lot going on out here. Got the whole shake up in Tennessee going on. Got the shooting in New Mexico we're going to touch on today. I got that going. We got that going on. The chat. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Just try to stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to Stuck in the System. Guys out there working. We are Flatbush. You already know the vibes. I appreciate you. Thank you. Daphne, what's going on, Daphne? Let's wait for my guy to pull up. Like I said, man, we're just going over a few things. You're not dealing with a lot of survival, a lot of thriving, how to stay on top in this crazy world we live in. I don't know what the last video I got up, but I always got something going on. Got something on Freaknik coming up too. Everybody talking about Freaknik, and Hulu got the series coming out. I think they're doing like 94, 95 Freaknik. Everybody's losing their mind. You got people got pending lawsuits going on for Freaknik. I was at one of the last ones, so definitely know the vibes of Freaknik. Did a couple of Virginia beaches, a couple of Daytona beaches. So I know definitely know the vibe, definitely know the temperature. I can understand how people could, maybe be a little leery, but they was there. It's Freaknik, you know what I'm saying? Nobody would even know they was there, honestly. Like my wife said. Like nobody would even know they was there. He was pregnant during that, yeah, exactly. Nobody would even know they was dead, you know what I'm saying, unless somebody said something. So, this is before camera time, so I take it as a badge of honor, though. So it's like not a badge of honor for the things that went on per se, but the fact that look how many years later before footage and things like that is even coming to light. You know what I'm saying? Like, pat yourself on the back, Generation X. Y'all did that. Bring my boy up real quick. Stuck in the system. Yo, what's good, bro?
Yo, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. What's good, man? I got some notes and all that. Salute to all the real rights. You already know.
Yeah, I read off a disclaimer. I know you said you had like a 29, 30. I was in Brooklyn having my son. Yeah, exactly. I think I was coming from 87. I think I came from Virginia at those times. I might have been coming from Brooklyn down. I think I remember going to Atlanta. Talking about Freaknik, bro. I was talking about Freaknik before you had pulled up.
Yeah, I missed all that. I was in Devoir for all that.
Yeah. So that went down. They got the documentary coming out, so everybody's up in arms. So we touching on that a bit. Waiting on you to pull up, man. You good?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. Just doing the daddy thing, man. Just trying to, change the narrative on life, especially in my life, going through the shit I went through. I'm definitely not trying to make this a vicious cycle. You feel me?
You think you got the recipe, or you think or you still learning as you go?
I'm a mad scientist, word.
I
Real
got
talk.
I got you.
But I play it in a way where it's not too much, but it's not too little neither. So
I got you. So what's good, man? What we got cooking?
let's see. Yo, what was it like when you was going down there to Freaknik? I would hear stories. I would definitely a lot of the older dudes that was in there for a while, they was getting money, they was moving around before they got caught up and all that. And they would tell me stories about that whole summertime situation, man. And it sounded crazy. I seen a few clips when I was younger, but you had to have that on VHS. If it wasn't around, you wasn't seeing it. So or DVD, one or the other. But you know, I ain't never really seen no videos, but I heard it was crazy. And I think
Exactly.
there was actually a thing where they was talking about it at the time that it was happening about how it would make women and girls look 20, 30 years from that time. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but every time period has. I think right now the way things are looking, it's gonna look a lot worse than Freaknik. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, a lot
Freaknik
worse
gonna-
than Freaknik.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, Freaknik. That's not downplaying that, but Freaknik was started in like 1982. Started jumping in like 1983. Obviously, I wasn't part of that. The early ones, they started it to compete with the California Club. The California Club was having something every year down in Atlanta. For those that don't know, we got Spelman, Morehouse, and Clark all in one joint. So they have what's called the AUC, the Atlanta University Center, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, that's where the library is. They had kind of like a central library. It's new now. But back at that time, the AUC used to have the different committees. The New York Club, so the DMV Club, which was I think a female or two and a couple of dudes, they started a joint to compete with the Cali Club end of the year party. And there's a song Freak at the time was popping, and they was having a picnic. You know what I'm saying? So they named it the Greek Freaknik because the song was popping at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I think partly due to the fact that it was Atlanta, central area, all those schools there, it was already lit. The environment was set up for it to be lit. For those that never been to Atlanta, maybe Atlanta's a city that can accommodate, a lot of people like that. It was tight. It would be traffic. It was hella traffic, and that's where you see the strip comes in at because it started a picnic and then it came to the street, and people driving, so it turned into a park.
Isn't that like Biker Week? That is around the same time as like Bike Week.
Now, Bike Week is lit too. Bike Week is lit too. That's in Myrtle Beach. Then they got one in Daytona. Some people will tell you which one is the Bike Week. But they have Black College Week, same thing. Like it's like for the Black colleges spring break. Pretty much, that's really what it is. And Daytona has one too. Daytona used to get crazy. So if they have something ever for Daytona, people should watch out for that too. But Bike Week is crazy. All those get crazy, bro. Like it's a strip. So like Vegas or any place else, then they get congested. Now you got people coming back at them times. They had the big the video, like you said, the VHS. Yeah. Girls hanging out the window. Nobody was pulling nobody out in the windows, dragging nobody out in the windows. And people was having fun. 19 to 21-year-olds, bro. Like, what else do 19 to 21-year-olds do? You know what I'm saying? And
have fun.
At that time, though, like during those times when it first got jumping, a lot of times we can attribute music to a lot what goes on. So I always tell people like when the Rodney King shit happened, right? When Rodney King shit happened, you look at the music that was out. You know what I'm saying? It was Public Enemy. It was a lot of more conscious music. People tore up for that. You know what I'm saying? When Sean Bell got killed, Lollipop was out. You know what I'm saying? And nobody ain't really do nothing. So I just say that to say
that's a great way to cross the two. That's definitely a good way to look at it.
Right. So during that time, in the 80s and all that, this was I read off the parental advisory earlier, but that's when that shit was on trial. Uncle Luke, everything was twerking. And at that time, that's when twerking started. But at that time as well, it was a big thing with Atlanta and Miami. for the South, booty shake. It was a lot of.
I remember that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of that going on. That was a part of the culture. So when you see girls coming out the sides of the car and they twerking and shaking their ass, that was a part of the culture. So, that's something I think that needs to be taken to effect. Nowadays, it's other stuff going on, so what you gonna do?
I don't know, what's done is done, you know what I mean? I just
they protested, they got lawsuits going on. Some people is now lawyers and Congress people and all that. They live in, I don't know where they live, Atlanta probably, and they changed their life around. They don't want it to come out.
Now, yeah, I could see that too, though. You know what I'm saying? But then that's gonna kind of infringe all the laws of what's able to be recorded and what's not. You know what I mean? Because once you start digging in that starts leaving open up a whole bunch of loopholes for other things to be connected to. You know what I mean? And that they're already taking away so many freedoms behind and under our nose. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whew, once that happens, that would be very testy, and that would definitely let the temperature be checked as far as digital videos and copyrights and all that. I don't know how they would classify that, but that's definitely a sticky situation. That's scary, man.
If they didn't say anything, nobody would know that was them in the movie.
Yeah, pretty much, because you put
like people in the haystack almost.
But then you got, people might want to be able to try to, financially, use that as a come up or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a way to get something out of something. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, if you don't say nothing, how would somebody know unless somebody blew you up that was there? But I don't think somebody would want to do that. It doesn't make much sense.
Exactly. And they got to find you in all those images. I mean, come on, man. They said it went from a couple of thousand to 30,000 in like the first couple of years to 300,000 in like 5 years, bro.
Wow. And that was court cases that were filed?
Nah. They got 3 court cases filed. Over the time, they got, I think, like 6 sexual assault cases filed.
Because of Freaknik.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's something to look into. Yo, remember the girl that went to Mexico with her friends and she got killed? Remember we did a little video on that.
What, the one recently?
The one recently that just went to Mexico with her friends and they pretty much killed her on camera and they came back
from South Carolina.
They're not getting charged for that. You know that, right? Nobody's picking up those charges.
You talking about the one when they beat her up, from the ones from Charlotte?
She might have been, yeah, but she was a business owner. She was out there with her friends and
they jumped the one that got jumped in the hotel.
And they all dipped and kept their shit to themselves. And then
bro, I said that at that time. I said that.
I know.
You can't do that legally wise. I get what they did was totally wrong, right? I get it's deplorable, but
I think they went down there on purpose, allegedly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the way it seems like it played out. Because I mean, you go out to the country to do something like that. I mean, you do something. I don't know if you go out there too. I don't speak on people's intentions, but something like that happens. You can't come back to America, especially if their legal system didn't have jurisdiction as everything. Bad enough they don't have jurisdiction over some of the people that's here now. That's a whole nother episode. But getting into jurisdiction, you can't catch a body in Mexico and come in Mexican. You beat it in Mexico, but then you come back here and they're gonna make. I mean, they had to make a valiant attempt to do it. They couldn't just let that just slide. But
no, that's what I was talking about. There's that loophole. You know what I'm saying? There's that loophole of the chance of you getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? That's why other people travel to other countries and oops, my bad. I got to get up out of here. You know what I mean? And then nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much, what I think happened. There's no other way to really kind of like, or it's by accident, because it seems like they went into a place knowing that if something like that did happen, they wouldn't be pursued.
I mean, the drunk factor plays a heavy thing into it too. They
Without
probably
that would be a part of the ploy anyways. You would have to have some kind of intoxication, make it a little bit more believable.
yeah. I mean, that situation is sad, man. I mean,
Yeah, and I just say that because we were just talking about Mexico, my fault. But yeah, I definitely saw that recently, and I was thinking, I said, "Yo, we just spoke about this shit," and it seems like they got away with murder, respectfully.
no, they did.
Yeah,
Once they came back over here, they was done for. I mean, I don't know what type of what's the thing that happened with OJ after he beat the murder trial with his ex-wife, a civil suit. They might they might be able to do like a civil suit or something like that, but that's still hard to do. But
you would have to have court documentation from
to back
Mexico.
up, right.
It would have to be some kind of documentation to back that up. But I don't think Mexico is going to even get involved, or the most they'll get is a death certificate. And I think if I remember correctly, it didn't have anything to do with a murder or a homicide.
I want to play since we're talking about kind of breezing through on Mexico situation. You was talking about that you had sent me earlier about New Mexico, actually. And it was a shooting.
Yeah.
Put that in the title. You want to explain a little bit to the people? I got some news. I got the footage. I'm gonna pull the footage up. Hope we don't get a strike. YouTube is
Oh nah. So from what I'm understanding, sidebar, I think it's after 30 seconds. From what I'm understanding, you're allowed to do a reaction to a video as long as it's not more than 30 seconds at a clip, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, cops in New Mexico, man, they were executing a search warrant for someone. They didn't say who, they didn't say why, but they definitely went to the wrong address. The address that they was looking for was 2305, and they was at 5308. And a rookie officer out of the 3 officers that were there pointed out the mistake, and they pretty much hushed him up to the point where he couldn't say nothing because he was, one, a rookie, and 2, he's outranked. You know what I'm saying? So that code of silence with the blue side, you know what I'm saying, is shut the fuck up, and you only hear from your neck down. You know what I'm saying? You're not here to think once you under a sergeant or whatever the case may be. So you're not supposed to be doing all that. But whether the dude heard them or understood what they were saying when they was executing a warrant, he came out with his gun, and all I'm not sure if all 3 officers, but they lit his ass up, man. They lit him up bad, man.
I didn't even know they was looking for. I didn't even know they had a warrant. I know when they was executing it, whatever. I guess executing their entry. I don't even know they had a warrant. Like you said, the dude pointed it out, and it appeared to be they was walking away, and then he must have heard them at the door. Let's play it. I think he heard them at the door. I don't know if they identified themselves.
I think they did. I just don't think he acknowledged it, or he could have heard it, or he just said, "I already know what this is. I know y'all coming to get me." Or it's maybe something he did from the past that he thought they was coming to get him, and he just said, "Fuck it."
Let me see. This is it right here. This is Local 7 News.
Yeah, this is where they're knocking on the door. I think there's some dialogue between
Right
the,
here,
between the officers.
the wrong address right here.
Yeah.
But in body camera video, you see the officers at the wrong home. 5305 is clearly marked on the wall.
Is it 43 or 5308? Is this not 5308? That's what this said right there, right?
Yeah, he made sure he said that on camera.
And then this happens. All three officers fire their weapons at Robert Dodson and then retreat.
Yeah, you good? You good? Back up. Check.
Now they was there for a little minute,
Minute goes
right?
by, and you hear Dodson's wife.
So it's like I'm pretty sure.
Then
Cause look, they shoot the wife too.
Oh, they shoot at her. They miss it though. She
They,
missed every
but
shot.
hold up.
Rapid fire.
4108, shots fired again.
investigators say at the time she did not know law enforcement was at
Yeah, that to me it seems like, you know, they were adamant about that address no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
whether it was wrong or right, what he was talking about, yeah, shut the fuck up, mind your business and stay here and do what you're doing. You know what I mean? And you got to think about it from the perspective of the dude that's coming out the house, or you know, what is on his mind.
Especially the wife.
I mean, I don't know if I don't know if she had picked up his gun or she had a gun too, or whatever the case may be. But, you know, if you go into that side too and think about it, you know, you just shot somebody that had a gun, whether you hear a female or not, because, you know, some people use that as some kind of, you know, cover and still try to come out. So, you know, they took a lead on you know, any kind of threat coming out of that area. It could be the dude that got the gun. I would assume, you know what I'm saying? I know if I was on that predicament, I'd be like, whoever it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just shot a whole bunch of rapid fire towards your direction, and that door's still opening. Yeah, I don't care who's coming out that door. You know what I mean? So you got to look at it like that too.
I mean, I'm gonna look at it from the top. Like, they didn't seem shaky. They seemed wrong and strong. They were definitely at the wrong spot.
Yeah.
But they didn't seem shaky at first. The door flew. They seen the burner. It's too late. Is it too late for freeze when you see the gun?
Once you open that door, man, your intentions are pure. Once you got that in view in your hand, you open that door, man. Your intentions are whether you're groggy or not, man. And you know what I mean. Like you got to take proper procedures and precaution before you open up any kind of door like that. You know what I'm saying? Intentionally, okay, that's crazy. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? You probably knew they was coming for you or whatever the case may be, because you got to think about it like that too. Because if he did hear them, he knew what time it was.
But did they say? I don't think they said police. Maybe he didn't hear all that. Maybe he just heard Sometimes they do. Doom 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 police, right? So let's say the person don't hear that, because you be doom 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 while saying police. You might not hear that on the other side. All you hear is the banging. But definitely, you know, a lot of times when the second go around, they don't even say it. They just banging again. All they do is the same thing they did the first time now. You feel me? And you still don't hear them. All this goes into effect. The commissioner of where this happened at was saying that one of the reporters had asked him, you know, does this happen often? You know, is this something that happens often with wrong addresses?
Mm-hmm.
I found it funny that he did say that it does happen often. He was taken aback by it, and he seemed pretty stressed out about the situation genuinely.
But that might be their loophole. How they catching hits? It might be catching hits. You never know. Because my thing is, a responsible gun owner, right? And I'm not trying to really, like, you know, bust some heads open right now, but a legal gun owner.
Yes, you are.
I am a little bit, just a little crack. You know what I'm saying? But a legal gun owner is gonna come to that door, and all his senses are gonna be aware as soon as you grab that. There's no room for error if you're a legal gun owner. You know what I'm saying? You have the know-how and the understanding. A legal gun owner is gonna look and see who's at the door. Once he sees that it's the police, he's going to make sure that he puts that somewhere where it's probably out of arm's length distance, and open that door with his hands in a way where it's not you know, aggressive or intimidating or sketchy. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be if you're not doing nothing wrong, you're a legal gun owner, right? That would be the proper procedure, no?
I mean, that's what a legal gun owner, you could say, a responsible gun owner, you would say. However, other things might have been in play.
He might have been in some shit. He might have been.
I mean, not even that. He might have just woke up. The dude might have just been waking up. You wake up, yeah, do. You know, first thing you do, his lady did, hey, somebody's at the door. She barely
I don't
heard
believe
it.
in coincidences. There's too many variables in this situation that just make this the perfect like fuck up on purpose.
That was the head crack right there. That was it.
A little bit, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too crazy with it, but that's the way it seems to me. It's like, you know, this is the loophole in their jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? Nobody pressing us like that. You know what I'm saying? We dyslexic on this side.
Nobody's pressing us like that for what? Wrong addresses?
Yeah. We can get shit done. You know what I'm saying? And you know, mistakes happen. I guess with their judge in that county is lenient. You know what I'm saying? Because only way you getting a warrant or now it's a warrant, right? I just want to make sure that it was a warrant that they were serving.
I think they were serving a warrant, but it didn't seem like a warrant, bro. Yeah, they're like blue and whites on the scene. Hold on, I'm about to look it up right now. Like
So I mean that plays a major factor too. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever they were serving,
and you're being dispatched to wrong addresses. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever they were serving, they was getting that cat out the tree. They was at the wrong tree. Like, no matter what their business wasn't there. Like that's what I'm saying. This dude had nothing to do with that. He didn't have no warrants. He didn't have no, you know what I'm saying? None of that. Unless it was a planned hit. It was just a. Let me see.
Because I've been in the bookings, bro, and I mean this from the setting of my soul, bro. Dudes will get snatched up, word, and the police will take their keys and run to their crib, look at their ID and all that, and run to their crib, take stuff, plant stuff, you know, ransack everything. You know what I'm saying? I've heard stories firsthand from this happening to individual. You know what I'm saying? Individuals. You know what I'm saying? More than one. So, you know, and there's a loophole to that. Ain't nobody really gonna be checking in on that. So there's loopholes.
Bro. Pardon me. Bad.
Now go ahead, bro.
This it wasn't serving no warrant. Yo, you just tapping in. We talking about the shooting that happened. Police in New Mexico.
So they was just there on a regular call.
They was there on a domestic violence call, bro. One of them. So it was Farmington, pardon me, not Florence. So it says here, Farmington, New Mexico police officers discussed whether they were right house moments before they opened fire. We went over that already. Once again, boom. Okay, yeah, the agency and the Farmington police said that officers were to respond to a domestic violence-related call at one house around 11:30 p.m., but the officers mistakenly went to another house, which appears to be across the street.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let me
which is a good alibi too.
It's not funny. Let me just interject. What I'm thinking is funny. The situation is clearly not funny. I'm just thinking because I was a letter carrier for some time, right, in Brooklyn, right. One thing I was known for, like, one thing I was known for a lot of things. One of the things I was known for was a mistaken address or two. You feel me? 719 might get 721 by accident. You know what I mean? The next one over. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit.
Yeah, right. I was in the style, so they went like that. Sometimes I was in the bush. I was all over the place. But that was a thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh no, get to know your neighbor program by the post office. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. It's a mistake. So I get it. However, saying that it was an odd side or an even side, anybody that knows addresses knows that that's the biggest difference. With the mail,
that's one of the safety nets.
You might get caught up with the mail because your eyes are seeing sequences and numbers. So all you're seeing is 1A, 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 2B, 2B, 2B. So when it goes to the next one, if it's 3C, an address in Walla Walla, Washington, you still put it in the box because all you see is the C's. You feel me? But with that, you're not doing. You're going to an address, bro. It's like DoorDash or
you have to know where you're going.
Yeah, like So a domestic violence thing across the street. I would want to know if I was to investigate that.
How would you look at that?
I would be curious to know. I would want to connect the one that was gun ho about it, right? We're gonna call him gun ho.
Probably the one with the most seniority.
We're gonna call him senior gun ho, Sergeant Gun Ho.
Sergeant Gun Ho.
Right? And then we're gonna call the other one the greenhorn, right? I want to know who got out on that side of the street. I'm willing to bet that Sergeant Gun Ho got out. You feel me? He's like, we pull up, and this is on this side of the street is the odd side, this side is the even side. I'm willing to bet he got out, looked at it on some, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
You know, it'd be crazy for a good book, bro. If he already had the address and made sure, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just don't know how you could fuck up an address, you know, and
not like that.
Not like that, bro.
I can see with the mail, maybe with that I said with the sequence of the numbers, but bro, you're going to this address. That's like a cab or like a ambulance or a fire department or anybody else is going to a direct address.
And you're gonna feel the energy of where that domestic dispute is at too. You know what I'm saying?
Now you can't. We're not gonna.
I mean, you would. That's one of your senses that you would have to use. You know
as
what I'm saying?
As what? As a human or as a cop?
As a cop, I would have to use my senses to say, okay, it's dead quiet over here. All right, yo, you check out over here. But that's not the address. The address is over here. I'd be like, yo, there's nothing coming from over here because it's quiet. There might be some noise. If the addresses or something's not adding up, let me look for the noise or maybe some kind of banging or yelling and screaming. That would be something off the checklist for me. You know what I'm saying? The shit is dead quiet. I'm gonna listen for a little minute.
You giving them a lot, bro. You going off of vibes and all that. You're a different type of being. Like, but hold on, I feel you on that. They should.
They should have that ability.
However,
I'm pretty sure they don't bypass that shit because they could turn that shit on when they want to. They do it all the time, bro.
They do it all the time. That's a fact.
So you telling me come on?
Just to play devil's advocate, though. Just to play devil's
advocate. They do it all the time, man. And they're fantastic liars.
All right, but to play devil's advocate, though, what if the domestic violence ended in two people getting bodied? Now it's dead silence. So you could still be at the right house and it be silent.
Then you go back to the numbers that you originally had. Oh shit, we're at the wrong address. We have to go to the address that they gave us.
They went through all that, and the dude didn't listen. Like you said, Sergeant Gun Ho didn't you know, he didn't want to listen to the.
That's why I say he had to have some kind of drive to go there. Maybe, you know, there was some kind of face fighting or maybe some kind of altercation or situation that might have happened. You never know, bro. A lot of these cops be serial killers, bro. Real talk. I swear to God. I was up north in Fishkill. You heard? Superman. They call him Superman. Everybody that know you heard? Superman. Serial killer, bro. Serial killer, bro. Him and his bitch. Now he's a CO. He's a CO. He worked a 21A yard, and he was he looked just like Clark Kent from back in the day, the first Superman, with the little twirl and all that. Superman body, looking like a goddamn fucking action figure, bro. Just like him. And his wife worked the yard. Yo, she set up so many dudes to go to the box because that's where he worked at. He worked at the box right above the yard, you heard? And two of these dudes that went to the box, they mysteriously hung themselves. One time I was in a box, I heard them beating the shit out of the dude. And then when I got out the box, I heard that they said that he hung himself. But that's the same dude that went to the box for supposedly recklessly eyeballing and fraternizing with his fat, nasty bitch of a wife. You know what I'm saying? She was an evil bitch. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully.
You said what yard?
21A yard. I stand up for this word. That shit got me. That shit is for real though. Serial killers, bro. Serial killers. And two dudes that was in a box, they mysteriously hung themselves. And the one time I was in a box, it sounded like there's a different sound when you hear the meat hitting the brick. You heard? Like it's different, bro.
What is that? What's hitting the wall?
Body. You know what I'm saying? Like body, like you know what I'm saying, like stomp.
I get it, but whose body? Like somebody getting beat up?
Oh, that's somebody in the box, a kid that went to the box. So all right, so let me back up. Let me.
Oh yeah, I was saying you said you got to the box. Somebody was in the box, and all I heard was body slamming against the wall. What happened?
Oh no. So when I was in the box, I heard because there's 3 floors, so you got three floors for the box. I don't remember what floor I was on, but where it happened at, it happened above me, and you could hear the the pounding of like like when you in the cellar in them brick walls, like the quiet fuck ups. It's a unique sound. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very unique. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you really getting it in. It's a lot of flesh. You know what I'm saying? Hitting that concrete. But there had to be like 3 or 4 of them because they have a squad. You know what I'm saying? And they I heard a lot of that. And then there's nothing I could do. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? I turned over and went to sleep. But when I got out the box, I heard somebody hung themselves, but it was the same situation because he basically was fraternizing or said some slick shit or a reckless eyeballed Superman's wife. And she worked the yard in the morning time. So, she got his ass up out of there. And then, he was Dunzo. And then that happened to another dude. And then there was another dude in the yard. He was on a late night. They got the beat up squad in there too. Like they'll put you on the wall and make you do the Superman, like you like flying, and they holding the back of your pants and trying to kick your legs. They trying to deter you from coming out there. You know what I'm saying? But they will kill you. Like they'll kill you, bro. Like all the way kill you, bro. Like you're not making it home, bro. Like it's done. Like never. Like so they threw one dude down the steps and he cracked his neck. But they said he tried to do some shit. But yeah, while I was there for that 4 years, don't know 3 years, the whole 3 years, 3 dudes died that I was there when I was there. From
This guy
Superman.
fish kill.
Kill from 06 to 09. Real talk. Hardcore. But they're serial killers. A lot of them police officers and them gang units and them detective squads, a lot of them be serial killers. They be on them with the shits. They be different.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that get not only stuck in the system, you know what I'm saying, but lost in the system.
Yeah, now you get lost. Like I
And
learned
that's
that
it-
from
and
young.
that's
Like
it, and that's
I
in
learned,
hospitals too.
especially
I
if
know-
you ain't got nobody, you ain't get no mail, you ain't get no visits, you don't make no phone calls. Yo, you are prime meat for a serial killer up there. You know what I'm saying? So
Even
you
in
want to stay,
hospital,
you want to
even
stay
in
under the radar
hospitals too,
all the
though,
way.
bro. Even in hospitals too, though, like people be in hospitals and no loved ones and shit like that come through. You know what I mean? The people just brush you off, bro. You know what I'm saying? Milk you out to as long as they can. And it's sad, man. It's just sad.
Nah, yeah, that shit is it's different up north. Like anybody who know that shit is they got kill squads up there and you get lost. Like every jail has them. You know what I'm saying?
You think every jail has them?
Every jail, yo, that's a culture in up north, New York State Corrections, bro. That's what they thrive on. That's like their cleanup squad. Like they do the dirty work.
The turtle gang unit, or just be
No,
like
they're just a
regular
bunch of
COs?
fucking psychopaths who got fucking anger issues and they'll kill you.
And I'm sure every spot probably got like off camera and like, you know what I'm saying, basement locations where you could just disappear.
Yo, bro, they got that shit down to a science. I mean, a lot's changed now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are dying down. Like when I was in a boxing Fishkill, the last time I just went up north, I seen the same dude that had the squad for the beat up squad in the 21A yard on the night shift. He's a sergeant now, and he was a part of that kill squad. You know what I'm saying? So he's working a box, like, you know what I'm saying?
You went back to Fishkill?
Yeah, I went to the box from Walkill. So Walkill ain't really got no box, so you got to go to Fishkill. So I did my little bullshit time at Fishkill, and then I went back.
And this is your time. This is on the second go around.
This was just recently, 2019.
So look, let me ask you a question then. So how'd that feel going back to a spot that you was at before? That ever happened to you before in the system?
All the time, bro. A lot of places I go back 2-3 times. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just repetitive.
2 or 3 times.
Island,
Other than Allen, you know, sadly enough, that's our backyard.
Oh, the group home, like, you know, every time you get recycled in the group home, like whether it's a RTF or a RTC or independent, you know what I'm saying? You usually go back to where you came from. So like from young, like from 12 to 13, I was running through the boroughs in independent livings, but at the end of that year, I was in a RTF, which is a campus, but I ran away because, you know, I wasn't feeling the shit, but I was already running for a case. So when they snatched me, they had released me back to the group home, but I ran away again and caught another case. And then, you know, I ended up getting 12 months, and 12 months turned into 2.5 years. But when I came home,
to the same spot.
yeah, and then when I got released back to a group home, and then I bounced from that group home and I went back to the group homes that I was in previously. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then on this one, you know, it's right there. It felt surreal, to be honest with you. I was looking out my gate, man. I'm just like, damn, man. I grew up in this shit. I kind of like grew up a little bit in Fishkill. You know what I'm saying? I was there for a little 3.5 years. You know what I'm saying? Solid. You know, going strong. You know what I'm saying? And it was at the years of from 19 to 20, 23, 24. You know what I'm saying? So, but there was a lot going on. Like, it was definitely, you know, spicy in there all the way. But you know, it was surreal, bro. It was definitely surreal. Fishkill, you know, it's a different vibe. It's a different feeling. A lot of lifers, you know what I'm saying? A lot of old numbers. So, you know, but I was always worried about the police, and especially when I saw that sergeant, man, I definitely stayed the fuck away from my window in the box when he was on. Cause
you caught your case in Staten Island?
Yeah.
How that work? They really bring you to back to Brooklyn for the bookings?
Nah.
They got their own bookings out there?
Yeah, they got their own, straight to the courthouse. Straight from the precinct to the courthouse, and then from the courthouse you get bailed out, you go into the island.
And then when they come from the island, that's a hell of a ride, boy.
Nah, yeah, that ride in itself right there, that's different. That's from an island to an island, and that shit is like, you've been there so many times.
Island to an island, hold up. Depending on how they go, because they can come across the
island to island to island.
I'm about to say they gotta come through Manhattan. If they can, it's a good way to come through Manhattan. Damn.
Well, no, they would come through Queens, I think.
Yeah, I guess they would come through Queens, so they could come down. I don't know if.
But either way, crossing the waters, man, that shit is different, man. That shit, and it's like you got to get into a mode when you go to the island. You already know, like it's like you gotta get into you know, a different beast. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother beast that you gotta turn into. So as soon as you crossing that bridge and you smell that shit water, you know what I'm saying? You get all that shit.
Which bridge you talking about?
The Rikers Island Bridge. Yeah, the Rikers Island Bridge.
Oh, yeah. The Bridge of Pain.
That shit water smell. You smell that? That shit'll wake you up. You heard? Yeah, we here. Smell that? We here.
Then you touch down, you smell like nothing but ammonia.
Nah. Yeah, there's another smell. Yeah, once you get inside whatever building you're going to, depending on where you at, it got a different smell. Like I never been to the fire building, but I can only imagine how that shit smells. Detoxing like a motherfucker. But you know, you just got that jail smell. But once you cross over that bridge and you smell that shit water, man, wake up and smell of coffee, man, because it's go time all the time. Word.
So what's I want to know what's next for these guys, man, in New Mexico. Just tapping in, we talking about the shooting in New Mexico.
I don't know. I think it's gonna get swept in the run. They'll probably get a slap on the wrist, or it might go all the way, but then they're gonna open up a can of worms because it might get deep after that. Because you know the basic factor is how'd you fuck up the address? How'd you not follow protocol? You know, I'm pretty sure that's one of the first things they teach a motherfucker in the academy. You know, check your paperwork twice.
I mean, I don't even think that. I would figure that would be before the academy. I mean, as police officers, they're pretty much like state secretaries with guns, and that's respectfully, man. Like I don't disrespect the secretary or police officers. All they're here to do is do the paperwork process. You bring you to court. So the paperwork is all you really have to do. The paperwork is your main thing to do. Once we get booked, you do paperwork. That's why they get overtime. So detail is a part of the job. It's not like detail is something that's like it's part of the job. I don't even know how to even
It's
break
major.
that.
That's a major part of the job. That's a major criteria that you must be able to possess that and comprehend that, paper trail is everything. Information is key, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you got to make sure that shit is accurate and correct. Cause look at it, you know what I'm saying? That was super sloppy, man. That's why I say it's like so much of a like wiggle room in that shit that is like, I don't know, man. It just seems weird, you know what I'm saying? It seems super sloppy, lazy. I don't know if you want to blame it on COVID or what, you know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure they'll come up with some fly shit.
Yeah, they're gonna come up with something. What about what's going on in Florida, man? What just happened in Florida? I see people pretty much jet skiing through the streets. If you haven't seen, sure everybody's seen, but it's like a flood.
No, you can tell me if you hear this real quick. Tell me if you hear this real quick. I gotta see something real quick. You can hear that static?
No, I don't hear no static.
All right, now never mind. My fault. Shout out to all the conspiracy theorists and all the old heads that used to talk about the 10 hats and all that, because global warming is definitely in effect. That right there, the shoreline is moving up. Whether it's just a flood or whatever the case may be, that's mighty close. You know what I mean? And what kind of shift is that going to do to the land? How remember the buildings that collapsed?
What do you mean? Oh, the building that collapsed in Florida, right?
Yeah, because of the sinkholes and the sand gave way and whatever, it had a pocket. So what's that water going to do to that? You know what I'm saying? That's going to probably push the shoreline even further back. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I didn't even think about that. That's salt water too. A lot of
That
that
erodes. That's going to erode everything.
I forgot about that damn building though.
And then they demolished the other one.
I think that was like Aventura. That's actually in that. Hold on, let me see something. Building collapse in South Florida.
According to Wikipedia, on June 24th, 2021, at approximately 1:22 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, Champlain Towers South, a 12-story beachfront condominium in the Miami suburb of Surfside, Florida, United States, partially collapsed, causing the death of 98 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they demolished the second one because, too risky. You know what I'm saying? That shit was super sketchy. But yeah, Florida, man, global warming, man, it's definitely happening as we're living and seeing all these things in history come together. That
how long until the state of Florida is totally underwater?
That's one of the questions too, man.
Green matters. More specifically, the impacts will be felt most strongly in South Florida. Scientists expect the lower third of the state to be underwater by 2100, according to The Guardian.
A third of the state.
A third of the state. Well,
that's 33%. That's 33%, 0.3%. 33.3. That's 33% of the state. That's pretty fucking scary if you ask me.
2100?
Where it's already 20, they got 3 more centuries. No, 25 years is what?
Nah, son, you wildin'.
Not century.
We got 75 years.
75 years. So what's a quarter of 100 years?
25.
Just 25. So you got 3/4 of a year of 100 years left. That before you know it, it'll be 2050. And what happens? The 50 years after that, this shit gonna be.
But by the time 2050 get here, you might start seeing part of that third taking place.
15 of that third, maybe. So think about that. Yeah.
I didn't think I would be here to see that. I'll be here for that. I might not be here at 2100, but
my father said that shit too. He was talking about a lot of the shit he when I did see him, you know what I'm saying, he always left me with some jewels and some knowledge or a head spin, you know what I'm saying, or a head crack, you know what I'm saying? And he spin on me and I wouldn't see him for like another year or so, you know what I'm saying? But he said that he would never see any of the shit that's going on in his lifetime. And he said I wouldn't see it either in my lifetime, but I ain't believe that part. You know what I'm saying? But from our lifetime right now, all the things that we seeing, it seems like it's only getting better, bro. Like there's a lot more coming, I think. A lot more transitions. That's why they had to do a reset.
It gotta be a reset coming. So
This is the reset.
in order to reset, you gotta bring things down back to the basics. And get it back right from here now, y'all. I'm trying to see.
But there's a lot of change coming. I know that. A lot of change.
45.9 inches of rain. I've been in some floods in Florida that was kind of crazy, knee high. I don't know if that's how many inches that is, but where they build everything like a pool. Everything is built like this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being built like this, so the rain can go to the drains. I mean, losing a third of the state in shit, like you said, 75 more years, damn near.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man.
And they've been talking about this since the 60s, you heard? Peace and love, baby. You know what I mean? They've been talking about this for a minute. This is not something that just started happening. And, and this crazy part, when I was out at that protest, man, for Trump or whatever that you want to call that, there was nobody really out there, like, on some peace and love, like, change the world. Like, you ain't seen none of that. I mean, I get it. It was a circus in itself, you know what I'm saying? But not even just one person, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of depressing in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Because those are the ones.
Which part is depressing?
Not seeing any of those ones that was really talking that shit back in the day out there talking it now, like really like proving facts. Because everything they said pretty much happening, bro. Like whether you want to fucking deny it or not, you know what I'm saying? It's all coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of those people, though, man, I think those people that you're talking about, they around, but they tired of that. They tried to tell everybody. Everybody laughed at them. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, talked about them. And, they packed up their books, you know what I'm saying? They packed up their labs, and they went underground. And they started working and doing the work that was going to take to survive these times. And now they're quiet and they're watching this or listening to this on some type of off-grid radio or some type of off-grid device. And this is what it is now. But you ain't gonna see too many of them cats.
Nah, yeah, I know. I realize that. That's why I said it's depressing. You know what I'm saying? I would hope that
I mean, just think about it though, right? Like a lot of us now on YouTube, we're just in the world on different platforms. You know what I'm saying? You, me, we got the spirit of them cats, right? But then we'll get a strike on YouTube just for even remotely. Right. We get strike. I don't even know what we get a strike for. We have a conversation, regular conversation. Two grown men have a conversation, and we get a strike. So it comes a time where it's like, you know what I mean? We keep our conversations how we keep them anyway offline, because here we don't know what we can say or can't say. What's gonna go against the agenda?
But you know what? Fuck the agenda, bro. Like real talk. I want to be the one that.
Yeah, but you can't say that on their platform. As soon as you
listen, man, they're saying a lot more bad shit than what we're talking about. Bro.
I get what you're saying.
They are saying some vagrant, foul, technical, foul. They are
I see girls on YouTube skin out with G-string, little G-string bathing suits on, doing yoga on their forehead where you can see their whole insides, bro. I get it, but they not spitting that we talking about. Do that as a distraction. As soon as you say it, it's over. You stuck in the system.
Nah, man. Nah, that's why you got to keep on pushing. There's a way to figure out how to swiggle and wiggle. You feel me? Like there's a way to get through, and that's my objective. You know what I'm saying on this shit, because this shit got to be passed on, and all this shit is gonna be saved. You know what I'm saying, forever and ever. My great grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Come and pull my shit up. Oh, shit.
That's a fact. I mean, speaking of that, though, so how does that work with, like, land and property values in Florida? Because that's something that's part of, like, generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Leaving some property behind, shit like that. So
I'm pretty
now
sure they sold all those properties for dirt cheap because they knew that it wasn't going to be there for that long. They had to throw that in some way,
I'm
somehow.
talking about the people that's there now. That's what Miami's one of the most populated cities on the East Coast.
Move
Right?
on up. That's it. Move on up. We got to figure it out. Move on up. We're going to just move on up. That's
You
it.
got a house. You got a house now out there, and like you sell it. Is there an insurance clause that says if you still here by 2100? Not if they still here, but by that time, that's only shit, man. 75 years is only like 2 generations. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, like that's only 75 years. Somebody could be born today and they'll be here for 70. You know what I'm saying? They'll be here for the next 75.
I would hope that they put that in a contract because that had to be something that had to be mentioned.
Has to be, especially if you're talking about insurance.
Of course, yeah, because they'll go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. They don't miss shit, bro. They got some of the best investigators in the world and fucking insurance companies. You know what I'm saying? So there's no fucking that up. So there's got to be some kind of clause in there saying that, you know, by the year 2000, such and such, or you know, you better pick up and go, or you better put this shit on stilts or something, or create an island or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what else, bro? What else, man? What else?
We spoke about this kid that just got caught up with the documents about Ukraine, the National Guardsman, young boy, 21-year-old.
You was telling me about it.
Yeah.
I've been like,
21-year-old Jack Teixeira.
Is who?
Jack Teixeira. Yeah, they call him Leaker. That's what he goes by. That's how they actually called him. He actually started searching, you know, in his engine, the word leaker, and you know his ID, his whole thing came up because he was on Discord. So Discord is a platform that it's almost like a secret YouTube kind of situation. Like it's a lot more regulations, a little bit more say so. Like it's a lot more doors in there. You know what I'm saying? So he's in there fucking in the chat room, meeting up some friends. You know what I mean? And he's saying that he was just trying to be down. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just trying to be cool, bro. Like he just wanted to be down. And he started leaking all these documents that he was around when it pertained to, you know, relevance of what's going on here now in the world today. You know what I'm saying? And he pretty much leaked some pretty controversial information about Ukraine and the war over there and how things are being done and who's supporting them and who's not supporting them. So it kind of like put a lot of dirty laundry out in the air. You feel me? Like he kind of did the world a favor in a sense. He might have stopped something and created a butterfly effect in some sort. So, you know, shout out to that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely stuck in the system. You know what I'm saying? He needs all the support he can. Also, his father is I think he's some kind of higher up too as well in that same particular field.
Higher up, oh.
Like he's like somebody higher than him, I guess, because he had clearance to look at this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. They're trying to find out why so many people have clearance to classify documents. I think there's almost something like to 1 million people that have clearance to get this kind of information.
What happened with the dude Snowden that went to Russia? He's still quiet?
Now he be talking, man. He be out there. You got to catch some of his stuff, but sometimes I be feeling like it's AI. You know what I'm saying? Just a really, really good AI. You got to really pay attention and look for little ticks. You know what I'm saying? Because there's telltale signs. You really got to pay attention. But you know, sometimes he pops up and sometimes he be in the dark. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Russia definitely used him and made a really good decision when they took all that information from him, I guess, because they're still holding on to him. Like he's covered. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody ain't got no teams. I mean,
he holding on to them actually because he ain't going nowhere. Where he gonna go? He step up out of there, he gonna get the tongue right in the neck.
I mean, I guess, man. There's a lot of people that favor him though. There's a lot of people that are actually on his tail and really on his bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? And he has a great line of defense. I think. Um, you know, I'm pretty sure he still has some access that nobody knows about. You know, some kind of back door. You know what I mean?
Nah, I doubt it.
You'd be surprised, man. I'm just saying. Usually when you get enough information, man, it's off with your head. You know what I mean? So, he's still walking around with his shit attached to his shoulders. So he must have some real shit going on. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Because usually, once you can't give up no more information, man, you're no more. You're not good. You know what I'm saying? You're just fucking a meat bag walking around, just taking up space and shit. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Nah,
Nah, you're right though. I'm just saying it's crazy, man.
he gotta have something. He got the ill ace in a hole. A few of them shits, I guess.
Yeah, he might just do, man, something tough. But I mean, I guess it goes down when he goes down. So that's how I look at it. But like you said though, you know so much information, you know how to put stuff in certain places where it just activates in the case of your demise.
Hmm.
So
Maybe he don't do a check in. Maybe he's
yo,
on.
you're right. It's a definitely on that level. It's definitely a check-in situation.
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get too crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah,
wanna,
nah, let's not get too crazy. I'm about to say, I'm about to walk the dog anyway.
oh, no, you
Yeah,
about to get out of here?
once you hit the Ukraine
Oh.
joint, I'm like, okay, hold up. But nah, you're right. It's information that needs to be talked about. So definitely not shying away from the conversation. I just know I want to see what the algorithm. We're gonna find out what it do, man.
Oh, one more
When
thing.
next time we coming on?
Whenever you want, it don't matter. I mean, I got shit to talk about for days, and we could definitely start talking about shit that really count. You know what I'm saying? Like really get into the shits, man. You know what I'm saying? See how I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to get no strikes in there, but I'm definitely trying to teeter a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then back up. You know what I'm saying? And keep my distance within my range. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you trying to get strikes. You trying to get tossed out of here.
No. I really don't
What
want
we
to.
gotta do though is is work on the Discord page.
Discord. I don't know. I think the feds are gonna be all in Discord from now on, man. It's gonna be
Yeah,
all
but you
kinds.
can't get too crazy on none of these things like that, bro. You gotta just use it for. You don't want to destroy the communication. You want to use the communication. You gotta be able
But
to.
are we talking about something that's too like? Is it too explicit? That are we going too that deep? Like, are we really going
I have
far?
to try to go that deep on their joint because I understand that it's their joint. So we meet like on the what movie was that? Casino. They was at the bus stop, fake smoking cigarettes, so just in case somebody was watching them, they couldn't read their mouth, and they was just like,
Yeah.
"Yo, that's the best. That's the way we gotta take it. If we not keeping it
Oh
and
man.
doing it like that, then we bugging because we can't get on these people's platforms and think we can talk all kind of ways. And it's, they're taking content that's up that you so much you want your grandkids to have. I mean, Florida gonna be gone in 2020 in 2100, and your content gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? We want to talk about the back doors of you know the alphabet agencies we talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a goddamn American, right? I live here. You know what I'm saying? It's all I know. I'm a free man, and I have my fucking rights, and I feel like
Let's go. Let's push it.
my freedom of speech is what holds everything together. And without that, I'm just a slave. So I've never really used my First Amendment before. You know what I'm saying? I always kept
Nah,
quiet.
it's
You know what I'm
important,
saying?
though. It's important to use it though.
Yeah. So I just wanna be able to use my shit because I know through experience. You know what I'm saying? So, um,
Yeah.
but shit. Oh, so I wanted to tell you about another situation with the boys. These guys are crazy in California, man. They had a mass text message, um, like I guess they had one of those kind of like private text messages throughout the squads of the precinct or whatever the case may be.
Okay, police.
Yeah, the police, man, and they was talking about George Floyd, um, and racist derogatory statements. You know what I'm saying? They was referring to food stereotypes, all kinds of craziness. You heard?
Part of California.
I did not get that, but if you pull up any kind of fucked up text messages with the California Police Department, and they're gonna turn over 100 cases and convictions because of that. A lot of that shit led to a lot of other things that once they start digging, man, they start bringing shit to the light. You know what I mean? So
California Police Department text messages. Racist text messages investigation locked the Northern California Police Department. That's up there where they be growing the bud at, huh?
Yeah, Eureka, Humboldt, Reading.
If they start throwing out cases in Humboldt, it's over, Rover. Let me see. Messages which were sent in 2020 and 2021 detail officers allegedly using racial epithets and homophobic slurs, sharing racist images, and casually discussing the use of less lethal weapons on people, including the city's mayor, who is black. Wow. Yeah, it's off with their heads, B.
Yeah,
You talking about the boss, you talking about because people that you're supposed to be protecting and serving. The majority of the roughly 114,000 residents of Anacostia, which is 45 miles northeast of San Francisco, are minority. They looking into criminal cases with them too.
Yeah, that pretty much tarnishes their whole character.
It's like the blatant racism is crazy, bro. It's like people don't even care no more.
No, people don't think past go, and they're not really that tech savvy. They're not really thinking where all this data goes, how it gets there, where it's stored. You know what I mean? Like they got pretty much jammed up because they're illiterate when it comes to being that far deep into seeing and finding out where all your data and all that shit really goes. Because even though you delete shit, that shit is still there, bro. You can pull all that shit up when they want to, bro. You know how than that shit, bro. Unless you got like a super black phone, ghost phone. You know what I'm saying? One of those off the chart radar satellite phones. You know
You
what I mean?
gotta move around, man. You gotta know how to just stick and move. Toss this one, toss that one, and just kind of stick and move, man.
It's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of work. You gotta be super disciplined to do that.
Just like how you said before, man. If you go off the grid, you can't do it nowadays unless you're super disciplined. Everything is coming down to whoever's super disciplined. Whatever you're super disciplined in is probably what you're gonna excel in. So.
No, yeah, definitely.
Well, yo, man, I'm about to get up out of here, man.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, bro. Definitely.
Bro. It's always a pleasure, man. We're gonna do it again.
Yeah, definitely a lot of shit to look into, and I see that I'll be pushing it. I just don't feel like this shouldn't be said. You know what I'm saying? This is stuff that needs to be talked about. You know what I'm saying?
So let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing the envelope.
Yeah. What kind of topics you want to get into on the next one? Like where you want to go with it on a psychological? I mean, we always touch it on every level. You know what I'm saying?
I follow your lead on a lot of these because I don't know where the hell you be at, man. You be in some places that be crazy. So I be thinking I'll be at a it's like I'll be like at the right beneath the surface and fishing around and keeping it. You be going to some crazy depths. You know what I mean? So it's cool. I dig it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You follow your lead.
All right, copy.
All right.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.